Hello everyone! Unfortunately, it seems I have to make a second view on the previous topic I discussed a few days ago. If you haven't seen it, that will be up on the right side of the screen. But it deeply pains me already that the server has still gone to shit. In the previous video, I discussed how an admin named Kira was talking about sexual topics and such with minors, and even advertising her NSFW server indirectly, but this time, things are a little bit different. Currently, Hero says that he allows Nazis into his server. Yes, Nazis. He claims this is if they don't cause issues, but if you obviously know how those people are, it's still going to cause issues no matter what. I'm also pretty sure that due to Discord's TOS, if you allow people such as these, you are just asking to get smited off the platform. Especially when the Nazis you allow continue to cause problems to the server members, like my friend who even got a private DM with threats. What in your right mind were you thinking either way when you said that? Your same exact statement is just like saying,
a child groomer will be allowed in my server unless they break rules.
Which they will do anyways, regardless of what you say, and even the members know that allowing a Nazi is not a smart idea. Going back to my previous video and the issues with the little adults talking about sexual topics with minors, there was a rule put in place after prohibiting such topics in general, but now he claims it's okay again if it's in the debates channel. Hero, if I may ask, why did you even have an 18+ rule with 18+ channels such as adult topics and such, if you were still letting them discuss these topics outside of those channels? It makes no sense. I've heard some people say,
oh, it's not that big of a deal.
But there's a large difference between a minor speaking to another minor about sexual topics and an adult speaking to another adult about sexual topics. It shouldn't be a minor and an adult. And I even hear people say things like, oh, but they teach you this in school, which refers to things like sex ed. There's a big difference between a teacher talking about your body than a 21-year-old talking about how she loves to watch and minors are present. Yet you claim you won't be seen as a Kira. Also, apparently despite Kira making her whole personality about touching herself, she says she's deaf, colorblind in both eyes, and even makes 6 figures a year at the age of 21. Which if that's true, Kira, why does your room look so basic? I got curious and looked at some global percentages through the use of AI, and it claims that there is a 0.000005% chance of a colorblind deaf person at 21 to make 6 figures yearly. Even a chance of a EF5 tornado occurring is larger than that percentage, and we haven't even seen one for like 12 years. I don't know if this is some kind of joke or if this is just Kira lying straight out of her ass, but if there's anything this reminds me of, it is those VRChat users who claim to have shit like Phantom Sense or Phantom Pain. But if we're being real here, she'd probably say that she has shit like Phantom Gooning. I had someone I know call her out, and he was already muted for some time, which is already proven by the fact we see the same 2 messages in both these screenshots if you look at here closely. He was also muted another time for 15 minutes before being banned, in which his defense was, how can I break rules if I'm muted? However, as of now, he has been unbanned. Kira has also wished death upon people, which look, I don't like getting into politics because I think it's just really complicated, and there can be lots of bias between certain political parties, but there is no need to wish death upon people. Some things you think don't need to be said. But still, once again, Kira is not a very smart individual, as even proven by things of how porn affects your brain and such, but I want to talk about 2 people in particular that really catch my eye recently. So starting with the first, I had some guys say that half the screenshots were taken out of context and that it's just 2 butthurt kids, which is completely incorrect. I went over the claims and why they posed the issues that they did and how they correlated. I mean, I even have a furry in the server saying it's not out of context, which if I am criticizing furry mods and admins in basically the entirety of the previous video regarding the server, I think that speaks volumes of truth on my part. Your comment is literally just a comment of cope, and mind you, I'm not even a kid. Being at the age of 18 makes you an adult, so congrats, you just made yourself look more stupid. Now another person who goes by off the dime, not Kira, yeah totally, says that it wasn't an issue till we made it one. Look bro, if you have a brain, I think it's bad enough to be talking about adult topics while minors are around. Adult topics and minors do not go together, they are a recipe for disaster. This can lead to grooming or young people getting exposed to NSFW content at a young age, and there are even studies that show how bad porn is for you, I already talked about that. This has got to be the dumbest one of them yet. So I still really don't have to continue listening to their hear me out comment. Before I end off this video, I was informed last minute about something involving Kira and Piro. As you know, I described the issues in my previous video that is continued by this one, and if you know, I discussed a person named Quartz. If you don't know who that is, to be short, it was an underage moderator who was addicted to and disrespecting other people and faking taking his life. Now, he has been demoted back to a member, but here's the real question. Why didn't the same happen to Kira, despite her also doing bad things like indirectly advertising her NSFW server? Well, I was just given a screenshot in which Pyro and Kira were talking sexually in front of everyone in the general chat, in which sure, it is an old screenshot, but still, why has she not been demoted too? Remember that joke I made last previous video about him being on a leash? Well, I might as well be fucking right. And someone in my comments even said how he is literally in Kira's server being named as Kira's boy toy. No wonder Pyro has not gotten rid of Kira or demoted her. From what I've seen, Kira and Pyro are both the main issue. You even say you can't get rid of the server if things don't improve, and they clearly have not. So please, get rid of this hellhole called the Goon Ground. There is no middle ground. Everything is either sexual or has some extremist that wants to cause issues. Remember everyone, if you want to manage a server, know how to manage it. With that, I am ending off right here. If this server isn't gone within a week, Pyro is just a straight up liar. With that, Ant out. Holy shit.